Hi guys, Zilla here, how you all doing? Just going to do some practice with some Mavericks and show you all how to use the Mavericks. Okay, so what we want to do first is arm our air to grounds, and we'll be using the F version. So click on the F version of the Mav, M-A-V-F. I'll zoom in there so you can see that a bit better. So the MAV is the E version, the MAVF is the F version. Okay, so we'll click on that and select it. You'll notice we've got a little upside down triangle here, and our MAV weapon is crossed out, so it's not ready to be used. So push that MAV F button a second time, and it will bring up the camera coming out of the MAVs, which is located on Station 8. Then what we want to do is uncage this weapon. So push your C button to get an uncaged up there after we've put the diamond on the screen. Now we've got it uncaged. Now all you need to do is press and hold the sensor control switch to press, and then use your throttle designator controller to move the camera around. So each time you hit the sensor control switch, you'll see the crosshairs on your screen pop up, and then use your throttle designator controller to move it around. And you can see in your HUD where approximately where the camera is looking. So if you know there's targets over here on this coastline, which I do, you can take it over there. You can see them flashing. Now we can use the FOV, which will bring us into this sort of range here. Line it up, and then it's a matter of just lining up that little center dot with one of these shimmering little beacons. Releasing your sensor control switch to press, and you might take a few goes, but this one's locked up, and then fire. It is a fire and forget weapon. So we turn away, do whatever we want. Let's go autopilot, barometric hold, F6, we'll watch it go in. Now these are a short range sort of missile. They only range from about 10, maybe 15 miles, depending on how far away you are. And shack. So we'll go choose slot, back. Rightio, we're going to do that again. Rightio, so do one more like that. So we're going to arm our air-to-ground missiles, bring up our MAV Fs, get control by using our sensor control switch and left to get our diamond. Actually, it's the throttle. Is it throttle? Like the sensor control switch, I can't remember. So get your diamond over here, we'll uncage this weapon, and we will select FOV to just put the zoomed in rate. And what you can also do is go to the, we've got two Fs on this, so we can go step and go FOV, and then go step again. So we've got line 8 up there. Now all we need to do is hold down, uncage the weapon, and then all we need to do is push the sensor control switch to press, and use our throttle designator controller to find the targets. So like I said, now if we're this far out, and we're quite a way out, you can see there that I'll let it go, not locked, let it go, nothing's locked. Let it go, nothing's locked. Nothing's locked again. Getting a bit closer now, so we might have a bit of luck. Let's try to get the front target there. Not locked. Takes a bit of time and you've got to get close. Not locked. Not locked. So it is a bit frustrating on this part of it. But you do have to wait until you get close enough to lock them up. And keep trying. Should lock up any moment, I'm hoping. There we go. You release it and you see you've got a full crosshairs, and in your front HUD you got MAVF that is uncrossed. So let's fire. Again, fire and forget weapon. We can disappear off scene. And we will go... Playing level again. There we go. F6. We'll have a watch this go in. Now you saw on that run how hard it was from a distance to try to locate these tanks and get them locked up. So the next run we're going to do, and Shack, we will use a targeting pod. I'll just pause it here for a second. Now what we'll need here, we're going to be using the targeting pod at the moment. We'll want the throttle designator controls, so the depress, the down, the left and the right. And that is all we'll need here, I think, in this run. We won't need the sensor control switch to press on this one. So let's go into the plane. So we want to make sure our FLIR's on, so FLIR's on. And we'll bring up our FLIR in our right MDF. We'll change the CD, bring it up to the CDC, so it'll be able to see a little bit better. We want to also select our MAVF range again and double click it. It helps if we air to ground, and then we can double click it. Rightio. Now we want to get control of our targeting pod. So we'll bring our diamond over here and we'll search for our targets, which are on that coastline, and using the targeting pod you can use the plus and minus to zoom in. You can also use the wide button to even zoom in further, and you can see how we've got quite a few targets here. So let's pick this middle one here. And then we're going to use the sensor control switch right, I think it is. Got to learn to get that right. There we go, and to the right. That locks that up, and then we're going to use the throttle designator dispense button to load it up into the weapon system. So there we go, and we get a diamond on our HUD, as you just saw pop up. and we've got a time to release. What we now need to do is uncage our weapon, our Maverick. So we'll bring our diamond over to the left page. And there we go. It uncages it automatically as soon as we brought our diamond over. And now it's in the process of looking for a target where we've got our targeting pod. So at this point in time, it hasn't found it yet. You can see that the Mav F is still crossed out. It hasn't found it, but it's looking in that vicinity for it. So we'll just leave it there. We won't touch it. We'll just head towards the target a little bit. And when we get close enough, it should find it automatically for us. We'll just keep an eye on our right MDF to make sure that our targeting pod is facing in the right direction. And let's hope it finds it. They're only small targets, so it is quite difficult. If you want to adjust your targeting pod, you certainly can. So we just go across a little bit, go down, push the depress button. Is it going to find it? There we go. Mav is in range and it's uncrossed. We'll fire. Again, it's fire and forget. We're using the Mav. We're not using the lasing or anything to that effect. Got it. So that way there you can obviously look for the targets well in advance. Your Mav will follow suit, and as it gets close enough it'll lock those targets up and you're right to go. So let's try that one more time. So what we might do is go quit this. Rightio. So first of all, we'll arm our weapons air to ground. We'll bring up our Mav screen and we'll bring up our FLIR screen. We'll change the FLIR screen to a CCD screen, which is this button down the bottom there. Okay, and then we'll get control of our right MDF. We can now, using our throttle designator controller, use to again zoom out and try to find our targets depending on where they are, and in this case we know that they're on this coastline here. We can use the plus or minuses to zoom in. We can use the wide button, which is up here, to zoom in even further. We'll take the one at the front. There we go. We'll put a box around it. Using the same button as you got your diamond over here. We'll put the box around it and then your throttle designator to press. We'll get there. Then we bring our diamond over to the left MDF. And what we'll see in the HUD, you'll see this little triangle zoom down to where this diamond is. So let's do that. Now that the triangle is overlaid, really in the same vicinity as where this, so the camera is looking where this targeting pod is looking at, so they're talking to one another. So we don't have to look at the target. Let's get that out of view. We'll get some altitude. Again, taking aware of what your HUD is saying, MAVF is currently not locked, so we can't fire at the moment. We're 15 miles away from the target. I think that's miles, or is that time? That might be time, I'm not sure. I think it's miles. Okay, still hasn't locked up. Like I said, you do have to be close for it to lock up using the camera. Generally, if it locks up, you're in range. Come on. Find the target. There we go. Mav is on unlock tick, so we're in range to fire. Let's watch that go in. There we go, and shack. Rightio. Now what we'll do, we'll use the E's, which are laser guided. So we'll stop again. We will go quit. So let's get our air to ground going, and let's push the MAV button on our left MDF. We'll zoom in there and have a look at that. And you'll notice that the code it's set there for the laser is 1111. We will change that in a minute and hit it a second time and you get this code up. So it's telling you that we've got the E's located on stations 3 and 7 with codes 1111. If we make sure our FLIR is on, which is here, and we make sure our laser is on, or armed, which is the one beside it. And then we can bring up our FLIR on our right, and again, go to CCD. It makes it easy to see things. And what we want to do is set our UFC here to what we've got our number here, 1688. So let's change our UFC code 1688. Enter. It changes both of them. We've only got to do it the once. Then we can use our targeting pod to locate our targets. So let's do that. Bring our diamond over to the left, the right MDF. Zoom into our targets. Let's take the first one again. Get a box around him. Go wide so we can really get a good lock on him. And we'll click our trigger button here to, I think you can, got to hit the trigger button, I'm pretty sure. So the Maverick here is looking out. You can see what we're going to do is to press the throttle designator control. So we've got a targeting point for this tank. There we go. We've got the diamond come up over here. And what we're going to do is go to our, again, bring the information over to our right, our left MDF, and you can see the X there on the scope move. What we're going to do now is turn our L arm and lays our target. I think you've only got to push this once. Let me just try it. So I'm going to pull my trigger. And you can see the X here on the MDF went to a solid square. You're having a look in your HUD. You're saying it's in range, so we'll fire. I only change this or push this. I didn't hold the trigger down for this particular type of weapon. Let's go and have a look and see if it hits the target. Ooh, just missed, I think. So if you have a look at our laser, where our laser is, you'll see that it's probably just off center of the target. So what we're going to do, because we're looking at the actual the missile coming in, we didn't keep an eye on our targeting pod. Now this is not a fire and forget weapon. You do need to keep it under lock, and you will need to keep that target lased. So let's do that again, and this time we'll stay in the cockpit and watch it. Rightio, so we'll arm our weapon, MAV, double click it, get our FLIR up, change the display, arm our laser, set our trigger button, bring our control over, find our target, zoom in if necessary. Again, we'll try to hit this front target, which we just missed a minute ago. Okay, set. Do our depress and get our diamond up here. And what we're going to do is just going to arm our laser right now. Oh, actually, let's go and take our diamond over to our left to get our weapon cage. So we'll get our upside down triangle to where it needs to be. So it's now in that vicinity. You can see the X's there looking for a laser in that area. So we'll laze our target this far out. We'll see what happens. Probably too far at the moment. We'll see what happens as we get closer. Oh, we didn't check the UFC. That's why. What is it? 1688. There we go. And now we've got a box there. And it's saying that it's locked. Time to release. Like I said, if we fire it now, there's a good chance it won't have the legs, so we need to get a little bit closer. Try to keep that box that's there inside the circle if you can. 10 seconds to release. There we go, we're saying it's in range, so we'll fire. We'll zoom, get our control of our target, but we'll just zoom out a little bit. Again, you've got to keep that locked. We'll see how it goes, see if we can get a direct kill this time. If you want to move your laser, you certainly can. Should be hitting any second now. There we go. Destroyed. Shack. So like I said, you do have to keep eye on it as you're flying over it. Your laser might move, so keep an eye on that. Now you can also use if people or missions have JTAC codes, and they'll tell you your JTAC code is 1736 or something like that. Put that into the UFC, get in range, set your targeting pod to where that vicinity is, and just shoot it so that it's going to reach that target. As it gets closer, it'll pick up that range or that code and hone in on it. Similar to what the GBU 12s and that do. Okay, so that's pretty much how you fire the Fs. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Any questions? Feel free to let me know.